Hi y'all, welcome to this channel where we discuss everything related to the COVID-19 pandemic as caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. In this video, we're going to look at the progression of COVID-19 deaths in the United States over the last 2 months. Today is the morning of December 12th, so really this data is through December 11th, 2020. Global confirmed cases are now over 71 million. Global deaths are approaching 1,600,000. In the US, total COVID cases are now over 15,860,000. And US deaths, at least as of December 11th, yesterday, was 295,000 deaths. I was not planning on making a video this quickly, as I've been starting to track the COVID-19 impact to the United States as we hit 250,000 deaths. And for a period of time, we've been seeing a steady increase of about 10,000 deaths every week or every 7 days. Unfortunately, recently, potentially due to Thanksgiving holidays and travel, the rate at which these deaths are increasing have been accelerating. So just to provide some background, this shows the new confirmed COVID cases per day, and we are at the highest in the United States, now averaging 210,000 new confirmed cases per day, and that's an average over the last 7 days. We are, in the United States, are at the highest rate of new cases per day compared to other regions. European Union did have a spike in the second week of November, but has steadily come down and is now plateauing around 120,000 new cases per day. The United States has continued to go up, a slight dip over, this is probably the Thanksgiving holidays, probably more due to lack of testing than anything else. But now, after we've come through the Thanksgiving holidays, we're seeing cases rise again. So because of the testing rates, and there's variability as to when people are getting tested, holiday travel, etc., I do tend to look at deaths. So one way to look at it is new deaths per day, but that is also depending on some travel. So with new deaths per day, the United States has been increasing, accelerating, albeit European Union has higher deaths per day, peaking somewhere in that late November timeframe, which is around that Thanksgiving holiday in the US, and now slightly coming down a bit, but still averaging over 3,000 new deaths per day, 3,200 new deaths per day. United States, as of the latest, is at over 2,300 new deaths per day. And we look at total deaths, so this is cumulative over time, and now this is only showing the last 8 weeks, so the last 2 months or so. Total deaths, as we said, United States for December 11th, that's yesterday, is at 295,000 in total deaths to date. So why is this concerning? So I did graph this in terms of total deaths, as well as the date when we hit every 10,000 new deaths. So starting from end of September, that's when we passed the 200,000 total deaths mark, and every 10,000 new deaths, so going to 210,000, 220,000, 230,000, and so on, to recently passing 290,000 and plotting what are the dates that we hit those benchmarks. So this top graph here, you can see for the last 2 months, starting beginning of October, we had just hit 210,000 deaths. By October 18th, we hit 220,000 deaths. End of October, October 30th, just before Halloween, we hit 230,000 deaths. But this rate is starting to accelerate, and that's what's concerning. A better way to look at that is to look at those dates. What are the number of days that it takes to reach that next 10,000 new deaths? So in the beginning of October, it took 13 days or 14 days, so 2 weeks to reach the next 10,000 deaths. 13 days in the beginning of October, about 14 days in the middle of October. And that has then come down. Now it took 12 days by the end of October to get another 10,000 deaths, and 11 days by November 9th for another 10,000 deaths. Now when I started tracking the COVID deaths in the United States, after 250,000 total deaths, we were seeing an additional 10,000 deaths every 7 days or every week. And we've seen that steadily in November. What's of concern is the recent numbers after Thanksgiving. So in the beginning of December, instead of 10,000 deaths every 7 days, now we're at 10,000 new deaths every 4 days or 5 days in the most recent data. So that just says that the number of deaths are accelerating over time, and you can see that trend in the last 2 months pretty clearly. So hopefully this gives some perspective as to the rates of COVID-19 impact in the United States, especially in the last 2 months, and we are seeing the death rate accelerating, and there's hope that we could potentially turn this back up, and we'll see that the death rates decline, but that does depend very much on how people act and how people protect themselves and their loved ones during this pandemic.
That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. And remember, wash your hands, social distance, and wear a mask. We're all in this together.